Happy holidays, champions. Welcome to the 2024 best of holiday gifts to get the board gamer in your life. Now, why did I say best of the best of? Because there's a lot of best of lists out there right now, and I'm sure you've seen at least 20 or 30 of them by now. And you're sitting there thinking about your favorite person in the world who just happens to love board games, and you say to yourself, what do I get him? What do we do? I got to get him something. Well, look no further, everybody, because the champions of Tabletop are here to tell you exactly what to get the person in your life for all budgets. And most importantly, these are Shay guaranteed to impress. I say that because if it doesn't, you blame Shay.
Yeah,
but you don't think you blame Shay because it's going to be the best ones you should give. You should give great this year, and our list is going to give you all the right things. All right.
Well, I got to get festive as we get ready for this.
Festive as I got, buddy.
That's all you got. No, I'm shining.
Boom.
I'm popping off.
You're blinking over there. I like it.
I'm popping off. Yeah,
you are popping off.
This is what I like about our list before we get started. So a lot of other places out there, which I love watching, by the way, are telling you games to get, or do you have this one? I highly recommend that one. A lot of significant others. For instance, if you ask my wife what's in my collection of over 1,800, she would struggle. She'd struggle. But if you tell her different things to get me, she knows she could easily find out if I have pretty quickly. So we're going to go with a little bit different road here, the different video.
Well, that's it. I think collectively between all of us, between all the games that we have at least 3,000 games between the three of us. So I feel like we're definitely qualified to handle a list like this. But you're right, Dion. You know, like I think back to last year, my wife got completely lucky. She got me Abduction, which was our Golden Meeple Award winner for Best Party Game of the Year. It was just a pure blind luck because she's like, I had no confidence that you didn't already own this. So she's like, I kept the receipt. And that's it. That's the problem for some of us hardcore board gamers is we have too many. And it makes it really hard for somebody to actually get something for you. So that's why we came up with this list, because this list is all about making it easy for you to buy something for the board gamer in your life. So with that, gentlemen, let's get started with number 5. All right. Number 5, we are going to list 3D printers. Now, I know what you're going to say. You're going to say, man, are you kidding? We don't have a budget for 3D printers. Well, I got you, kids, because Bamboo Labs just came out with a brand new model called the A1, which has come out for just a few $100. And the thing that I absolutely love about Bamboo Labs, and I am not paid nor sponsored, is the fact that it is plug and play. It is made for stupid people like myself.
Yep.
You plug it in, you put the stuff in like it tells you to do, and guess what? It just works. There's no leveling, there's no positioning, there's no greasing. Plug and play, baby. And guess what, gentlemen? As a board gamer, there is nothing better than saving yourself hundreds of dollars from the Etsy shop to get that new piece or that divider or that holder that you really want when you can just make it yourself.
Yes. Get a dice tower. We'll make your own dice tower. Yeah. Or if you're an RPGer, if you have an RPGer in the family. Oh my gosh, the best thing ever to get
all
is
the minis.
Is a 3D printer. And we're not talking crazy money. What is the price? What's the price point on something?
Dion, that's a good question. So the one that I kind of am highlighting for this video because it has won CNET's Editor's Choice Award for 2024. It just came out. It's only about $339, which is cheaper than a lot of the video game systems that are out there. So it does get that 3D printing experience to your home. But as somebody who owns one myself, I have the, was it the X1C, I think it is. That thing is amazing for anybody who, if your spouse or partner or somebody that you love plays like Warhammer, if they play any tabletop miniature type of games, it is phenomenal because they can print new armies, they can customize things, they can create landscapes so simple. It makes a huge difference in those experiences. We just played Halo Flashpoint, and you can add more terrain.
Flashpoint.
Yeah, more flash to the Flashpoint. In fact, Mantic even told us that, you know, they sell the STLs for you to just print, so you don't have to buy them.
Nice.
And so, you know, from the war gamer in your life all the way down to the person who just loves viticulture but is tired, or let's say Rock Hard 1977, the person that loves that game in your life, but they're tired of the box being a wackadoo mess every time they open it up. Guess what? Now it's right there. You print off all of your storage devices, and everything has a perfect home.
Yeah, I like that. Good number 5.
Yes.
All right. Anything else to add on that one, guys? Have you guys ever used them?
I use them because the library has them. So when I do STLs, I just send over there. They're nice. Like, they're very
Luckily
cool.
for me, I've always had good friends that have them. So I've always said, hey, print this. So I never had to really mess with them, but I'm well enough equipped to be like, yeah, that's still a good. I mean, I would like to have one, especially for the shop, because you never know when you need to replace a piece or something, and the company is no longer around to get that piece replaced, or even inserts would be great to print the inserts for some of the box games that are here. Those types of things would be nice to be able to 3D print quickly, and just storage alone, storage base units to put bits and pieces and stuff in. So.
Yeah. Well, one too to kind of bring up too is the Great Wall. I'll bring that one with Awaken Realms, a company that is notoriously known for making some of the best miniatures for their games, and the Great Wall has one of the best table presence of any game that's ever been made. However, the oncoming Mongolian army are literal just playing cards that just sit on the table, opposite of a physical wall that you are building up in 3D nature on top of these gorgeous miniatures that you're moving everywhere. And it's the silliest looking thing of like beautiful built Great Wall, all these beautiful miniatures everywhere, and then the oncoming hordes are literally just cards. But not with a 3D printer, baby. No. That solves the problem.
That was number 5.
They'll love it. Number 4 on the list, I think, really hits to the heart of what this list is about, is a guaranteed way to hit a home run with a board gamer in your life without stressing about, do they already have it? Do they like it? Will they like it? Won't they like it? And that is just simply a gift card to your friendly local game store. And I know, Dion, you're a big advocate of this one.
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple reasons why this is the best for your so-called significant other. You can buy, you don't know what to get them. You don't know what collections, what we're talking about today and some of the accessories and storage stuff can be found at your friendly local game store. Or you could get them, I mean, we haven't really talked about some of the other stuff that you can grab, but all of that stuff could be available. If it's a game that they're waiting for and they're waiting for, then you just go buy the game. But you can get them a friendly local game store gift card. And like for Voss Media Board Game Cafe, you could buy it right on our website. It goes directly into their account. So when they show up, they could just come in and go, hey, I got $25 on my account and I've been waiting for XYZ game. I can't wait to get this, or I'm waiting for a game coming out in February or March, because a lot of games do come out. They've got that first quarter release because they missed that Christmas. And I know I'm waiting on like 2 or 3 of them that I won't get before Christmas. So it's nice to have that, to know that money's setting in your account, so you don't have to worry about, that's a great feeling, just a simple gift card. I know those are the worst to buy, but those are also really good. It both supporting your local store, and it and it gives a chance for your significant other to purchase.
Do you understand that? Look, I appreciate the socks. I appreciate the pants. I appreciate all the clothing. If you just used all that money and gave me a board game gift card, you're good. You don't have to give me multiple things. Just give me that one thing. You don't have to wrap it up. Just tell me I got it, and I'm like, sweet. That's all I need.
I'll give you a great example too. I don't know if it was last Christmas or 2 Christmases ago. I got probably like 5 or 6 of the unmatched sets.
Yeah, those are
from my in-laws. And I really appreciated it. However, the problem is when you have obsessive compulsive issues, you can't wait for holidays to get the things that you want. So I already pretty much owned all of the sets that they got me. And so what made it worse was I didn't really want to deal with the fact that I had given them a list. It was on those lists. I didn't have the patience to wait, and thus they were gone off the list. And now I didn't really need the game. So what did I do? I had to sell them at the Voss, consignment thing that you did there.
Yeah.
But the point of the story is that the real answer is the gift card would have been way better, because then I could have put that towards something I was excited about. And the thing is with gift cards, especially, like, people, it doesn't always feel the best to give a gift card, because sometimes it feels like it's a throwaway gift of like, well, whatever, it's just a gift card. But I think this, something specific to your hobby is different, because it's not like, oh, I got this at the gas station, where it's like when you get that gift card that's got Olive Garden and Red Robin and like 8 other restaurants, you're like, you bought this on the way here. Don't lie to me. You got it while you're filling your gas up, and you bought some beef jerky. So I would say with this, it means more because they took interest in what you like, and knowing that you have money to spend and you're waiting for something that you're excited about, or just you want to go check out the new games, and now you have some money, you don't have to worry about what a game costs. That really gives a holiday cheer.
Like your budget's around $30 and you got an extra 20, so that puts you now you're looking at $60 games or $50 games instead of that instead of that $30 budget that you had. So I mean, even that helps out, and not only that, but you find yourself spending it on TCG products. You find yourself spending it on, I've wanted to try that game or whatever. So now it's not, you won't feel so bad about buying it and it being a dud. Because most stores don't have the policy like us where you can bring it back and get full in-store credit if you don't like it. But they, most places you buy it, you're kind of stuck with the game, or you got to find somebody who wants it. Where this, you don't feel so bad because it wasn't really your money to begin with. So I'm willing to take a chance on somebody else's money that I might enjoy. And then it's still when you see feelings.
So when you see that copy of Kenny G keeping it jazzy,
Keeping it sexy, first of all.
Sexy.
If you're going to say that name, say the name right.
It's been a year. It's been a year since we talked about that.
Yes, and I tried not to think about it, but now we brought it back. I think I know my 2024 game of the year.
We may have to play.
It's a really good number 4. I like that one.
Yeah.
Number 3 on the list is for that person who just has crap everywhere. They're disorganized. They don't have anything where it needs to go. They open a box and 800 things fall out. Nothing is where it should be. The reds are with the blue pieces. The yellows are with the greens. And it takes 40 extra minutes to set the game up just to get it to the table. AKA, you aren't going there on Tuesday night to play because you know there isn't enough time to set it up. And that is going to be storage devices and accessories. One of the best things to get a board gamer, because board game companies never put enough of them in there.
So I'm just going to say this and put this out here. I felt hurt. I felt like shots fired at me when you said, if you have all the, I see all of these different games around me and how much I really, like, there's so many games I want to play, but I can't play it because of that main fact. And so, like, I feel this one. I feel that one hits home. Oh, God. There's so many things that I really want.
To name some of the accessories, I pulled out some of my accessories here that I just love. So other than the normal, like literally, my wife could buy me baggies from Amazon and I would be like, yeah, because more baggies, you could always have baggies to put, board game baggies stuff in. So that, because they never send enough into the game. However, there's things like,
I'm gonna go to Costco and get Dion just a big old thing of bags.
That would be amazing.
Have these really cool like pen holders that are pretty cool. Like they come like this, right? And this is Board Game Geek, but you can also find them at your friendly local game store. We carry these as well from BCW and a couple other companies. But you have these cool little bend things here that when you fold it up, you could put bits in, right? And you set it at the table, and then you've got all these bits nicely in a nice row. You also have these things here, which are set in front of you, and you put the little bits in front, and then it has a line here to hold your cards, so you can set it in front of you at the table. These are nice accessories. Iron clays. Oh, God, I cannot. A customer of ours bought this for us, and I love this. Like, this is one of the best gifts that I can ever get. They're these really cool. They come in these really nice cases, and they're like, you're gonna say poker chips, and they kind of are, but they're amazing quality. They replace all of my money in every game I play. I pull these down and I go, no, don't grab that crap out. We're playing with these. I mean, it just feels better. That totally highlights my game. That is such a great. Roxley, I think, did these iron clays, the game counters. Yeah, and they're so but those are great. Other things that I can think of are really good companies that put stuff into them. I can't remember the name. I know that you guys met them and they were awesome people.
Yeah, I'll get to them in a minute. We'll come back to them.
Okay.
Well, I'm gonna say GameGenic does good things. Like, you see, this is my bit tray thing that I can put any type of bits and stuff on there. We can't hate on TCG players. Like, give them some card sleeves. Like drafts, they always need some card sleeves, and this is a big thing for me because I don't really condone card sleeves unless it's TCGs. So yes, if it's TCGs, get the card sleeves. That's the only time you get the card sleeves. But you can get
a deck builder. Definitely get card sleeves for a deck builder. You're going to be touching those cards a lot. Dominion. Yeah. I mean, my Dominion cards look played, man. They look played.
But see, I love that part. But that's a whole different video.
That's a whole other video.
And what's cool, if you do want to do that, you can go to things like if you know what games they have, you can go to places like Board Game Geek, and they have, if you find their game, they have a button that say, sleeve my game, and it'll tell you every size card sleeve you need for said game.
Yeah, they even have these kits. Like, I have them in my friendly local game store here at Voss Media. We have these kits that you have everything you need in that one kit. And they sell them like that. So if you buy, if you know Marvel Champions is one of his favorite games, you could buy that kit and that sleeves everything in the game for them. The only thing you could do better is sleeve it for them because that's a pain. But other than that, I think the accessories, these accessories are just board gamers. You don't know how much this increases and makes board game night funner. Just having these extra things flopping out, and with these chips, just beautiful,
yeah. And I think, like I said, it's easy to kind of go a lot of ways with this, but I think from my perspective, when I'm looking for accessories specifically for in-game, I'm a deluxification guy, as we've highlighted many times on this channel. And so I love one website I absolutely love is Top Shelf Gamer. Because they actually have a massive quantity of any kind of metal coin that you could want, and they're heavy, chunky bits and pieces. They've got tons of component parts for pretty much any type of, especially worker placements, etc., that you can think of, where instead of having like a token for a barrel, you can actually get a nice beefy chunky barrel token, or like Terraforming Mars, for example, you can actually get physical little ingots of gold and brass and stuff instead of just a cheap little thing that comes with the game. So having that kind of stuff in your hands, the Roxley iron clays from that part of the accessory side, like, it just adds to the experience from the tactile inputs. But the thing that when I think of storage, it's getting to the table and getting a game out and rolling as quick as possible. And that's where the game company that I really want to highlight is, because not everybody can be Final Girl with perfect box management, or Foundations of Rome, which has probably the best organization ever for a bigger game.
Yeah.
It's going to be Bitsbin. If you've never heard of them, we had a chance to meet them at Origins, and I will say it's a husband and wife that run the company, and Shay and I gave them so many compliments because their model is so simple. It's not like they have a revolutionary product. They just have made everything simple for you.
Yep.
Because you literally go to their website and you say, "Oh, I like this game. It is, I don't know, Ark Nova." Okay, well, do you have Ark Nova sleeve?
So good. Oh,
do you have Ark Nova sleeved, or do you have Ark Nova unsleeved? Oh, I haven't sleeved my cards because I'm Shay and I live like it's the 1800s. So
whatever.
So you click the unsleeved and up comes every single thing built to fit in the original box for every piece and every token that you're going to need and every card that comes in the box. So everything fits exactly. So when you take that lid off the next time you go to play, bang, it's all right there, ready to go in perfect containers. So how many times have you guys in your lives bought like random little containers and stuff for a game, and you're like, well, I don't know really what I need for this game. Like, I'll start with these. And it's like, but then it's never enough and you don't want to hassle with it. That's what I love about this website. So I would definitely say getting something like this is such a welcomed addition. So if you know that they love Clank, or I mean, you name the game, Dune Imperium, Everdell. I mean, there's literally, probably 200 games on their website that they've already done the work for you. You just click it and say, this is the game, and they send you everything that the person would need.
Another thing I want to be very clear with, if there's any retailers that watch our show, reach out to them directly because they work with retailers and they're amazing to work with. They are such good people to work with. Big fans of the couple, big fans of what they're trying to do. I'm a huge, if you haven't figured out with our channel, if you've not watched, go back and watch the review of Rock Hard. Big fan of how quickly it is to take out and put things away. And there's a lot of games that are some of my favorite games just have a horrible take out and put away system. And so it's good to be able to, this goes that, and dump them directly into your little holders here, and you're ready to roll. And it's good. It's great. It's something that I highlight for every heavy board gamer should have some bits bends.
And I'll give you, go ahead, Shay.
And let's just be clear. You need to give like this. That is the best gift, because I know there's games that I have that I would. It's such a Shay game. I'm gonna bust one out. Dead of Winter. I love Dead of Winter. But it comes with nothing. It comes with a dream
galore, man. There's so many baggies with my copy.
If I had like a couple little tins or whatever for the zombies itself, that will bring the game out way more. And so don't knock it because you think it might be like, oh, this is a couple of little things. Trust me, trust the process. So I'm gonna say.
Well, and one other thing that I will really, really recommend if you're trying to think of something to get that board game in your life that they probably don't have, because I haven't seen many people who actually own these. And you can probably check. I don't know that I've even seen them, Dion, in a friendly local game store. But I know that they do have them on like Board Game Geek on their site. I know they have them on Amazon, and that's premium elastic box bands.
Oh yeah, I've seen them a few times. The problem is some of them damage your boxes, so you have to be careful on which ones you get, because some of them damage boxes, and those not all of them are great.
I'll tell you what, depending on the storage that the person in your life is using, like you have some of those games that once you put it back, it doesn't fit well into the box, especially if you're using some of these containers and stuff or some of these inserts. And to be able to have these little rubber band, elastic bands to go around the box keeps the box perfectly tight, so that way it won't fall. Or the other thing is, honestly, guys, like if you don't have a bag or a board game bag, this is also another must-have, because if you're driving and something happens and the box falls onto the ground, it doesn't pop open and spills your bits everywhere.
Just be careful. I mean, definitely do your research when purchasing those, because you don't. I don't use them for my games here, even though some of them need it. Only because I don't want to damage the box. But I also don't put stickers on, like heavy stickers. I've got yellow round stickers you can easily pull off. But I need to switch because I need a better organization system. But just be careful when you're getting those, because some of them will ruin the box.
So just do your research. That's all we're saying. Do your research, because these are good
those
things.
Are good.
I know they're Velcro ones that they come out with too, which I think would be a little. If you're worried about that, that's a little bit better. Could got a little more give. But yeah, that helps, especially when you are the game person, that you always bring the games to the family for everything.
Yeah. And these aren't the ones that I'm talking about too, Dion, are not like rubber bands. Like they're actual elastic
there's some
bands
that you can wrap over both corners, and it's like crosses both corners, and it's almost like it almost like hugs the box nicely. Those are good ones. Like I said, but you have to be careful, because some of them out there are like, won't damage the box, and then you get it, and it creates these lines around the box because it puts so much pressure on it to hold it tight. And so you have to be careful with some of them.
That's what I said.
But yes, other than that, I agree. That's another accessory that should be in the list.
So with that said, that's just an easy thing that I guarantee will bring a smile to their face. We're crawling up this list at a rapid pace, and this is going to bring us to number 2. Now, this one, let's just say they better be on the nice list, because this one is going to come at a cost. And unfortunately, when you want great things and you want showpieces and you want things to really stand out, and man, instead of buying them a Lexus and letting them walk outside and seeing a big bow in their car, I think walking downstairs and seeing lights shining with a big bow on a brand new dedicated board game table.
I mean,
I would rather drive the Lexus, so we're both clear here. I can't drive my table to work.
Yeah, but I can play my games on my table. I can't play my games on the Lexus.
You cannot.
Well, I would try.
Seats are smaller.
Give me an option of a Lexus or a board game table, I would definitely try to play my games on the Lexus if we had to. Just so we're clear. Just want to make sure we're not the same. We're not in the same realm of like $60,000 for that car and $2,500 for a good table.
Well, like, if it's a Wormwood, it might be $60,000. But
okay.
So, gentlemen, why was this so high for both of you?
Because look, you see those expensive tables. I'm literally talking about, like, I went over my dad's house, on Thanksgiving, and I was just, helping him set up his projector, being all nice and being a good tech son. And then I seen the table he's putting the projector on, and it's like 2 feet by like maybe 2 or 2.5 feet back. I looked at it. I looked at the dimensions. It's the perfect table for me to leave Final Girl on. Like, it matches exactly the thing, and it's like $35. Like, even like the small little dedicated for the solo games, instead of having a big table, have something small like that.
Way, Shay. That's a really good, like, here's a dedicated table just for your games. It doesn't have to be a board game table.
It don't have to be like a big. I mean, yes, we want the big board game table, of course.
Budget,
but then you can also get them something like that. Yeah.
Thrift shop the shit. Yeah, that's not bad. That's a good call. Yeah, that's not bad. I wasn't thinking that when I put it on my list, so we're clear. I was thinking of we custom build some for $2,500, and a lot of tables that are here in Voss Media, we want the drop down so you can roll the dice and it bounces off the side. We want something that when I'm ready to sit down and play a game, I could play. Something I could leave out, put a top on it later if I need to, play a different game on the top while I've got something hide underneath it. Those types of things. I would love to have one where you can just roll up and down for height.
Oh yeah,
sometimes some's too much, not enough, and oh gosh, I would love some with TVs in the middle for the RPGers. Like, you could hook up your laptop and have just randomly change the scenario. Those types are just amazing, and they're all out there from everywhere. Every company has one. And most of them are rather expensive, so I won't get into rating those tables per se. But definitely do your research, and a good board game table. The reason why it's on my list is because that is for me personally, it would be board game table would be right up there with one of the best Christmas gifts you could ever get me. A good, comfortable table, because it's something that's going to be used for many years, and I can always go, oh, I got this. My wife gave me this, or my son gave me that, or whatever it is. They bought this for me, and this is amazing because we got a dedicated space. In Shay's words, dedicated space to play this. My favorite game, or this game, or any game that we put to the table. Especially, so for me, that's why it's so high.
Yeah.
You'll see as we get up here, it's going to get more expensive, but there is budgety ways, like Shay pointed out, to still keep it reasonable under, thrift shop of saying, hey, this table is a nice, maybe, 6-foot table. This is a dedicated 6-foot table that can go, we got at the thrift shop for a couple $100 that is now your table.
And what's really cool about that is, like, I think, Matt, you have one of them. Those game toppers.
Get
one of those bad boys. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to say that because, when I kind of look at the different tiers of options, Dion, you said it perfectly. There are so many different avenues that you can go with this. And Shay, you're right. I mean, for me, I have a game topper, but I would say that just having a space that is dedicated for it makes it so much easier, because not only do I keep it free, unlike a pool table that always gets covered with clothes and garbage, I require this to stay clean, so that way if I have a hunch to sit down and play a game or something, it's a clean table, and it's dedicated specifically for that. I can pull the game out, and best part is, if it's a campaign game or maybe there's some scenarios I'm running through, I just leave it up. Like Elder Scrolls, that board game, I probably had Skyrim. I have the Skyrim board game up for maybe like 2.5, 3 months while I was playing through the campaign. But because it was on its own dedicated table, there was no issues with it. So I would say, if you're looking super budget, you can go get, a 6 foot, 8 foot folding table. I mean, and back to the 3D printer, you can 3D print rails. So you can, they have that now with splicers that you can just literally print some rails for a standard folding table. And that's really what you want, just to kind of keep things on the table. But if you want something a little bit nicer, I would say kind of to make it work no matter where you're at, the game toppers are really wonderful. They've got, I think, like 8 different sizes of table. And what's cool about them is you literally can put them in a bag and put them into a closet when you need the space, if you live in like an apartment. But when you're having a board game night, you take it out and you just literally clamp it together. You set it up and it looks just like a normal board game table, which I'll have the video of over this. So those are pretty cheap in relative. I would say the one that I'm probably going to get sometime in the future is made by some people that we met at Origins that were absolutely wonderful. And it's a company called WM Homestead who make custom hobby tables. And I'll put the video in, but oh my gosh, it was some of the most beautiful craftsmanship. It's a husband and wife that make them. And their tables can have the LED lights. It can have the wood, the coloring, the staining, the quality. They use casino quality felt on the board top.
Really good.
Yeah,
really
I was
well
just, I was thoroughly impressed for the price, especially. Their prices are
then you can put your
completely
personal
good.
touch on it if you know they like the 3D light or the lighting. If they don't, then you can remove. You don't have to have it. If
Correct.
You can kind of put your own personal touch on that gift and make it really something nice.
Yeah.
And I mean, I know their price ranges anywhere, I believe, in the mid thousands all the way up to as high as you want to go crazy and add the accessories on. But some of the even side accessories for that is really awesome. So that can be gifts later down the road that now for our anniversary, I got you these things that go with that, right? Which is always a good one as well. And I tell you, the couple seem like really nice people.
Yeah, the one that I put together was with LED lights and drawers and USB-C ports.
Yeah,
but it was still only about $4,000. Which, I mean, if you go to a decent furniture store, because these also come with the dining room topper, so you can put that on and your board game disappears and everything's good.
No, a new game goes on top. You forgot that it stays there.
Your board game stays below, and then when it's TCG night, you pull that out and do that.
Exactly, you're right.
But if you really want to get silly with it, which you absolutely can with this particular hobby space, that's when you can talk about companies like Wormwood. But the one that I think, if I had unlimited money and I was just all in, is Wraith Skellers. Who are out of Greece. That's the one that our friend Jamie at Foster the Meeple, that's their $20,000 table that has like dice towers literally built into the rails and
so nice.
Cranks like you guys were talking about. So, that's a very unique position for somebody to be in to have the money. But I would definitely say Wraith Skellers, if you want to go premium, of the premium, that's probably who I would go with, and Wormwood would kind of be another alternative to that too.
Even if you buy a nice dedicated space, comfortable chairs is very important as well.
Yeah, that could fit right into this.
We're getting older. We got bad backs.
I know, and then the over. We don't want these chairs that those folder chairs. We want nice chairs, so that's important.
Just
but
nice
go ahead. That's
chair.
Great one for number 2. That was number 2.
That's right.
Yes.
And so because of that, after you sit there for a long time, that's going to lead into our number 1. But before we get to the creme de la creme, let's go through our honorable mentions. So, Shay, why don't you go first and tell us what's something that you had on your list that just didn't make the big board?
So, something I had on my list, and I'm going to put 2 things together because they're both about the same thing, is that when you go to all these like different places to go to board gaming, like these big conventions or whatever, you have to stay on lines. You have to wait in those lines for a bit, especially if you're trying to go and get like the newest thing. And so I seen something on TikTok, RIP. I seen something on TikTok that TikTok friend Kervin, he showed, and it was this collapsible stool, like a little stool that you can just fold in, fold out, put it down, you can sit on it, and you just be good. And so, like, my honorable mentions are like convention accessories per se.
Oh,
so
yeah.
like the insoles. Like, give somebody some insoles, they will love you. Like, if you go ahead, like, you can give people like those. Brandon said this before, and I think I said it in the video before too. But those like foam like Lego things for kids, those big ones, like and it's just like you can piece them together. If you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about.
Okay.
You can,
like
if you don't have insoles, like a little mat thing, you can stand on those bad boys and those are comfortable. Like, so you got different options, like water bottles. If you give them a gamer water bottle, like, so my honorable mention is conventions accessories to live. A good lunch bag is a good accessory because you definitely need a lunch bag because you don't want to pay those con food
even
prices.
like a gamer's bag. I go there all the time and I always filled up and I'm walking around with a bunch of games in my hand to be able to throw it in a nice backpack. Like
backpack, you can cruise. Like, so
well,
that is my.
I think all play is kind of the gold standard when it comes to the backpacks for board games. But yeah, I really like your idea because especially when you get to those conventions, you never know when you're going to get to a big line or something big is happening. And I remember Loricon a couple years ago at Gen Con before it launched. And I mean, it was like people were lined up, Wednesday afternoon for the Loricon line for Thursday morning because everybody wanted in right away. And that's a long time. So to have something, plus the other part is, it can be kind of like a little bit of weapon, like people getting in your way. You're just like, bam, oh, sorry, I got this chair on my back. Sorry, bam, sorry. Oh, sorry, I knocked your kid over. They're getting sticky little hands all over me.
I would put a caveat on that because, bless his heart, Curvin, I'm sorry, because I have my game bag. I got one from Geek On. It's really nice. It's a big purple one. It feels so good. But it doesn't have a rear view mirror. And so he was just following me, and I turn to the left, and he get hit with the back because he can't see it. Because I didn't knock him out, but I definitely hit him a couple times. And so, like, maybe give somebody like a standalone rear view mirror for their back.
Get a beeper to go with it, so when you're moving, you beep.
Wide load.
Wide load coming through.
Yeah, you put some LEDs out. But yeah, that's
I like that. And even accessories like what everything you've mentioned. But even like my wife bought me this cart thing that I pull along. So when I go to my conventions, I go for
you're the guy everybody hates. Everybody hates the cart guy.
Yeah, but when I go to these retailer conventions, everybody's handing me demos and stuff, and I don't want to carry this around, so I'm putting it in my cart. Right? I'm
the big conventions, everybody hates the guy with the cart because
you
take up a lot of space.
I like it. It folds down nicely and then it pops open. It was like $40, I think, is what she spent for it.
You would get
love it.
You would get booed.
And guess what? I'll be booed
all you want.
Right, I'll be booed and comfortable.
I'm not carrying.
Hate on me, hater.
All right, Dion, what's your honorable mention?
So I was thinking of like storage options. My brain went to like IKEA and places like that to put storage in, but I think those are rather obvious. So then I went backwards. And if you have a TCG in which most of us gamers do like some sort of TCG of some sort, because it's a different way to play a game. But I highly recommend these storage options, like buying something like this, or like these little awesome little XL things like these. You could get those, and even for non-TCG players, sometimes have things that they want to put these in, like cards and stuff. I can think of at least 3 or 4 things that I got rolling around. But these are amazing. They're like awesome little, I don't know if you can see with the light popping out you, but they're awesome like little holders and storage units. One of my favorites. Yep. Oh, I love this.
I know. Yeah, that's a pretty one. That's a pretty one.
And it breaks down into so many different ways. We've got a big gamer box here as well for one that is just good to keep cards and TCGs in, and way to show off. Like these right here have these little spots up front that you could show off like your leaders or your stars or whatever you're trying to show off with the board game. And this one says Star Wars on it. But anything like this, I think, is definitely in my honorable mention of board games, games / gamers. Because if they're a TCG player, especially, those are a no-brainer. You could buy in any time, $12, $60. You could go in and depending on how much you want to spend, and you could go buy something like that, and that TCG is going to love you for it.
Yeah,
I'm telling you
because
right
they
now,
always have bulk or cards
Yes.
or
Yes.
something they need storage to put stuff in, and
Yeah,
even
I'll
bigger
put-
storage. I just showed you those. Those are more of like I'm taking these to the shop to play, but even just like a deck box like this that I can put my deck in that I don't want to use, but I still want to build, and this is my workable one or whatever. Those are so easy to buy, and those are cheap. Those are like under $5.
Well, BCW also has a really nice big plastic
Yeah, they got the bin.
storage
I've got
bin
one here as well.
that'll
Big
hold
bins.
like 1,500, 1,800 cards in it.
Those are no-brainers.
No, how many does it hold? Is it like 6?
No, it
maybe
matters
it's
what
like
you get.
4,000.
Because there's
It matters what
some
you
that
get. It goes anywhere from
Right.
like 2,000 to 8,000.
Yeah.
and you can also get, like, if you get a whole bunch of those, like, I have a couple of the, I believe, 1,000 ones, but there's actually a storage thing that you can slide all those in.
Yeah.
And so that's what
Really
I'm
good.
going to have. There's so many good things for, especially, yeah, go ahead.
I was just gonna say I got my son the collectible card bin from BCW that it's
those are
nice
good.
hard plastic
Yeah.
and it's got 3,200 cards. It's got 4 columns in it and it looks nice. It's heavy duty. So all of his Pokemon cards are in that, and that's a really nice one too.
Yeah,
But
so if you have a TCG or that you're buying for, those are great
Yeah.
storage options.
Yeah.
I think
I
those
agree-
are great buys.
I agree with you too, Dion, too, because I have all the altered Game Genics.
Game
It's
Genics,
just you can't go wrong with the Boulder or, like I said, any of their deck boxes or any of their the Dragon Lair.
They have they have sorry. I'm sorry. That was perfect. I didn't know it was gonna happen. Okay, so they also have their their bags for put decks in. That is really good. Like, I have one for all my Union Arena ones, and it's so good because they also give you Velcro flaps. So if you don't have that many decks, you can actually space them out so they still will fit in there. And so, like, there's so many cool things you can give for the TCG or in your life. So definitely,
Well, like I said, even as
if
a
that's
board
the
gamer,
route.
like I could find ways to utilize something like this.
Oh,
Which
yeah.
is a $8 storage for cards, right? Like I could. There's other things that I could use. I've got expansions that I could throw in this and then throw it inside my box. That would be amazing for me to be. I'd be extremely happy with, and it's only like an $8 bet, so it's not crazy money either.
Exactly.
So for my honorable mention, I'm gonna go with wall art.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Wall art.
Yeah.
Because nothing adds more enjoyment to board game night when you feel like you're a part of like a theme of something. So if you know that person in your life has a game that they love, some of my favorite art is honestly on the BGG store. They have an artist series for all of their prints. And a lot of the big games that exist out there, they have like thematic, alternative type of artwork for the different things. And honestly, like you can get them for like $30, but like some of my favorites are like Scythe and Terraforming Mars is beautiful. I don't even necessarily play King of Tokyo, but the image of King of Tokyo is phenomenal. So just having some art on the walls and feeling like you're just kind of immersing yourself more in the hobby space, and they have beautiful art. Or I've seen people get little clips that you can get on Amazon, and they put the boxes up on the wall,
Yeah,
and they
that's good.
build wall art with that. And it just, again, it's just about immersing yourself so that way when you're in your dedicated play space, you feel more encompassed in your hobby. And of course, for me, the best wall art that exists that you can get is to get a French clip to put on the back of your crokinole board, because nothing says art like a beautiful crokinole board right on the back of the wall. So that way everybody knows you're a legit player. And there is no better Christmas. I don't care about any of these lists. Get your loved one a crokinole board. It's an auto buy. Everybody will love it. Guaranteed.
I mean,
Guaranteed.
we gotta give him this one. Like, Dion, go
What if
ahead
you had
and
a
say
bad time
something.
playing
Circle,
Crokinole?
Okay, number
and then we have,
one.
so we can keep it going. But to say about short art, I agree with you, because there is definitely, like, I got a Goofy board game, and I have the back of the Goofy board game is a poster of Powerline. It's like a Powerline concert, and I got one signed by the voice of Goofy, and I've always wanted to like hang that up. And it's only like a square one, so you can just, if I can get somewhere to hang that up, like some help to get that there, that just brings the vibe into the room, especially if you have a dedicated room, or maybe you don't have a dedicated room, but a dedicated spot, like a dedicated shelf that you have your board games at. Just deck them out with little different things. Like I got some from RPGs. I got this one right here from an RPG that I don't think I'm ever going to get, but I want it because it looks so cool, and just it was something I got, and it just fills the vibe of it. So
and kind of to add on top of that, I mean, they've got these really cool things that you can get posters and then slide on like scroll, make them look like scrolls by sliding the top and the bottom on there, and then hang them. I've got a couple of them in the store, and you can get board game themed. There's one that I really like that has all the different boxes of the top 100 selling games or whatever it may be, and just having that and going through it. And it's just a way to, like you said, add to the atmosphere. And I think the atmosphere is important when you're gaming.
Right.
And I agree. I think it's even signage. If you go to gosh, what is that? Some of these stores you can go to, like we got our Game Cave one hanging in the store. Just that just kind of adds to the atmosphere of like, hey, I'm here to play games, and this is kind of cool. So I agree with that. Wall art and kind of theme type decor. Of stuff.
Yeah, and crokinole boards, because crokinole boards you can get in
Number
the most
one.
beautiful art. And real quick, in case you decide to, after the last year, take my advice, the two that I would really look at. One, if you want the tournament standard, the gold standard of crokinole, Tracy boards out of Canada. They are what all tournaments use. But I'll tell you what, Shay, you and I had a chance this year to meet Brown Castle Games. We met Megan over at Brown Castle Games, and I just want to make sure I give them a shout out because they were just absolutely wonderful people. They ran the crokinole tournament at Origins. And I will say, like, if I didn't have a Tracy board, I would absolutely buy from Brown Castle, husband and wife in Pennsylvania. I just bought a Jam Sumo game from them with the dice, which we'll have to highlight on the channel too. But wonderful people. So definitely check out Brown Castle Games and Tracy boards. So this is it. This is the angel on top of the Christmas tree. Aww. This is the bow on top of the gift. This is the number one gift that we could possibly have, like a professional. I'm going to keep going. This is the number one gift that we think that you could get the board gamer in your life. And by no means is everybody going to be able to do this. And so we completely understand that. But we have to say, like, there has to be a number one.
Stuff. I mean, you could buy number two. You could be affordable with number
We've got all budgets. But I'll tell you what, there is one thing that is at the top. And I'll tell you what, I can confidently tell you that if this was given to me in my life, I would be absolutely ecstatic. And I know both of you would be too. Really agree. And that's going to be, for the board gamer in your life, get them a trip to a convention or something like a cruise on the sea for board games.
Oh, beautiful.
Because there is nothing, like, let's be honest about what board gaming is about. It's about time with people that you care about. That's really what it is. It's not even necessarily about the games. It's about spending time doing something you enjoy, having fun with the people you love the most. And that's what conventions are about. That's what these ideas with trips are about. We'll kind of go into some of those. But gentlemen, what are your initial thoughts? You know what? I'm going to pause you too, because this is one I'm really passionate about, because trips and going places, that's what life is about. It's about experience. And so when I was thinking about my number one, all I can think is, and this is something that we've talked about doing on the channel. I know other channels have done this, but places like the Gamers Ranch, which is this massive facility that you can rent that has literally 22, Dion, it's the one person who could put you to shame. They have over 2,200 board games in their collection.
I'm about to ship. I'm 1850 probably, but we're okay.
That's cute. You know what's better than 1850? 2,200.
I mean,
but they also have fishing. They have a massive mini paint station. They have disc golf. They have video games. And the point is that it's just a place to go with the people you care about, spending time, enjoying a hobby together. Another idea that we had talked about was a Board Game Geek, it does this, in fact, where they do with Norwegian Cruise or some of the other cruise lines, they do Board Game Geek at sea. Or I think Dice Tower might even do one at sea.
Yep.
And again, it's just about, again, spending time away from life with the people that you love. And I cannot tell you, as somebody who, my career, I'm a financial planner. And this is the one thing I tell people all the time is saving money is important, but experience is what life is about. My grandpa died with hardly any money, and he was just as wealthy leaving this world as Steve Jobs was, which is he had no money because you don't take it with you. And what you do leave behind are the experiences you share with other people. And like I said, that's what, to me, this hobby is about. And that's why, to me, it's the number one on the list, is because, to me, it really encompasses what this hobby is about, which is time with the people you love.
And to add to that, you don't have to go super expensive.
You don't.
So it's something simple as find a local convention that you send them to. Mm-hmm. I like board games. My family isn't a big board game family, believe it or not. I own a store and everything. But I do have some that are in the family that is. But even just, I use board games to escape. So giving me the escape with a different escape, like that is the best thing you can get any gamer, I think, out there. And even like I said, it's something simple as buy them tickets to the next Gen Con, or give them a hotel stay. I have a timeshare, give that away to someone that you care about, to a place that has a big convention during that time. Giving the ability just maybe to go check out a cool game shop somewhere, taking a vacation, getting a hotel stay at Chicago to go to Snakes and Lattes, or Kalamazoo, Michigan to come check out Voss Media Board Game Cafe. I mean, just doing something like that for a weekend, this is going to be our gamers weekend, and here we got tickets to go away, right? Mm-hmm. It would be amazing. To me, I working hard running the store the last 4 years, roughly. I haven't been able to get away. And before COVID, I would go on vacation every year, at least for 2 weeks. So for me, that is my, as I've shown multiple times, the fireworks of the entire thing. That is absolutely next level, to be able to get away on a vacation somewhere and to make it board gaming or something, a hobby that I care about. Next level. I can't get my wife on a cruise, so a cruise would never happen. I can't get her on a cruise at all. She's got this fear of all kinds of stuff. So I love the water. But like I said, going on a vacation to where, like, a gamer's ranch, maybe with another family that also likes the game, would be awesome.
You want a few more families than just one, because I
mean, you don't want to invite a few families minimum. But also those places aren't cheap either. Like, I was looking up one just up the road here in Michigan, and it was really nice. Had a hot tub, had tons of games, and of course we would bring our own because they would never have the one I wanted to play. But even that, like, there's a castle, I think, a board gaming castle that's in Ohio. Those are kind of expensive. You'd have to go in together with another couple other families and be like, we're going to get this group as a gift. But those are really good gifts. I think that that's made my number one, because it is the ultimate of ultimate gifts that you could get me, to give me a chance to get away. How I could do it, I have no clue. But just give me the opportunity to get away and just forget about everything, not have to plan it. Just plan me a vacation. I'm out. Like, I don't have to plan it. You're going to plan it for me. Oh yeah. Like, I'm down. Sign me up.
And one thing I want to bring up, like, because I was looking at it, there is such, like, okay, Gen Con's the Gen Con, but, like, right now, PAX Unplugged is happening, and that was $91 a ticket for a 3-day pass. So it's not so when you think of a ticket, a badge, it's not that you can go to, like, Grand Con, the one that's local to us. That's $50 for a 3-day weekend. I think you have like your Dice Tower things as like the vacation ones that are big, but it's something that you could definitely, because a lot of states have their own local place, especially because I know you can look on it. Some places online give you a list of it. And just find a local one that they can go to, have fun, because just as much as they love spending time with their families playing games, they also love spending time with people who actually like playing games. And so just having that weekend just to be like, oh, you're my people. Like that's.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, and that's it too, Shay, is because it is kind of a niche hobby, as we all know, when it comes to like deeply, passionately loving it enough to have a YouTube channel like we do. And I think that when you can share that geekdom with other people who also get it, that's what really makes it connect. I remember recently my daughter was starting on a new soccer team, and we met a family, and I walked into their house when I was dropping my daughter off because they were watching a USA women's national soccer game this summer during the Olympics, and I saw Root in their closet, and I'm like, oh, I can talk to him about board game. I can talk to him because if he's got Root, like he's got to know board games. You know, it's not an entry level game.
Like, from now on, your dad can drop you off in the driveway, please. I don't want to spend 2 hours talking to him about a game that you found on my shelf. Sorry,
definitely overwhelmed him. So, but
you like pick him up. One of us. Yeah,
but I'll tell you what. Like, I'll even put a little extra nutmeg in the eggnog here. Because this could even tie into it. You could even get people gift passes to HomeCon. Because, you know, when I think of it, like, with my spouse, HomeCon is...
Keep going.
HomeCon is where, you know, for that person that you love and you just aren't into board games, get them a coupon book and give them 10, 15, 20 coupons that say... Give me the coupon and I will play a game with you.
Well,
because
perfect.
There's nothing more exciting than when your partner who you know doesn't really care about them says, you know what? You've been having a rough day. You had a rough week. You know what? I'll sit down and play a game with you. It's like it just, my nostrils open up. My heart pumps a little bit better. My mind becomes more clear.
Or passes to bring friends over. Like,
yeah, I don't even know what to do.
Bring all of your friends over. We'll play a game, right? Like,
right.
That would be awesome. Yeah.
So you could do a HomeCon and just play some games at home and give them the joy to have you play with them. And that doesn't cost anything. So it doesn't have to be a trip to Gen Con or Origins. It doesn't have to be a cruise. It can just be give them a coupon book and play some games with them and enjoy the time together.
It could be a weekend without the kids, so you don't have to worry about them. You can just stay for a good 2 days just playing games. Like it's small things for trips. It really, we just want to play games
and not feel bad about it.
Feel bad about it.
That's right.
Exactly.
Not ignore the 1,000 honey-do list I have to do. Let me just.
That's right. Exactly. So with that said, we're gonna go ahead and wrap up the 2024 best of board game gift ideas for that loved one. And gentlemen, it's been a pleasure. I can't wait for 2025 with you. And never forget, champions.
Never.
Stop.
Playing. There we go.
There we go.
That's our New Year's resolution, is to actually not sound like morons when we do that. So, all right. With that, have a good one.